Our real estate application helps improve lease cash flow while reducing occupancy costs in your organization. We look to drive efficiencies in your real estate decision support process, making better informed decisions on what to keep and what not to keep. We look to drive financial performance in the organization, making sure that you only spend what you should based on the contracts you're negotiating with the landlords. And environmentally, we want to help you select sustainable sites, so driving efficiency environmentally for our industry. Let's take a look at some of the key features that TRIRIGA Real Estate offers you as a real estate professional. So logging into TRIRIGA Real Estate, I'll first show the view of an executive. From the TRIRIGA dashboards, we provide workplace performance management goals and objectives in that dashboard view. These are part of the workplace performance management suite within TRIRIGA. In this particular view, this executive can have cost metrics around revenue. This particular chart over here is showing real estate costs over area. Now in our system, TRIRIGA has a layer of personalization at the desktop of each role within the workplace. This executive has a personalization wrench that will allow him or her to go in very quickly and lay this portal out with the relevant KPIs or key performance indicators that they want to focus on. And with a couple clicks, the user can lay out the dashboard and hit save, and now the system's going to refresh, focusing on the critical workplace data that they care to manage today. In this case, budgets are of a concern, so we move the budget chart up to the top left of the portal. Now in the system here, TRIRIGA ships with over 140 business metrics that allow us to align to the business goals and objectives that we set out in the organization. These metrics have the ability to do drill down. For example, let me show you this particular metric, which is focused on total occupancy cost per area. As this metric paints itself, what you're going to see is a red and green indicator here, which is focused on the goals that this organization has set out. With each metric, we set out the thresholds of what makes a green metric, what turns it into a yellow or a high or alert metric based on what we're measuring. In the TRIRIGA system, we provide drill paths. So in the system here, we have a show by where the user can very quickly drill into geographies, like diving into North America, or maybe they want to drill into the locations they manage in North America and be able to see each of those buildings. And within TRIRIGA, we can get down to the root cause and go down to each individual building and site and see how those are being maintained and managed for decision support. Now, all of our metrics have the ability to go over capture periods. So each KPI, we can chart what our goals are in the beginning of the year, and then have the system automatically manage how you're doing against those goals in each of the fiscal periods within the year. Now let me switch into another key view within the TRIRIGA system, that of a transaction manager. The person that has to make decisions on what real estate should they be going into and what real estate they should be getting out of, the renewal options, the expansions, and the requests from the business. This particular user's role looks different than the executive. It's more transactional based. Within TRIRIGA, we have interactive mapping tools to allow us to do market planning at the geographic space. So I can look in the different maps and get into the different areas of the region of the world of where I'm actually doing my real estate projects. And I can hit this little maximize view, which will open up the map in full screen and let me start doing planning. So I can go all the way down in here to the Tampa region, and the more I zoom, the closer I get in my model here. The ability to open up the actual TRIRIGA data here right from the map. So this particular project is a market initiative to expand some new locations in the Tampa market. And we've set out our targets as a business. We've also done a series of transactions of opening up those activities. And we're looking for a new office space in the Tampa, Florida market. So right from the geographic map, I can drill into the project area of real estate where I'm going to start managing these real estate transactions as individual projects. Within the project world, we get into market analysis, identifying what our goals are, our market research. We can align our projects to our customers' goals, what's important to the businesses that we're serving as we look for new real estate. And then we get into the planning side where we look at real estate packages and the ability to look at each individual deal that we may be considering in the Tampa, Florida region. And lastly, TRIRIGA provides the executive summary capabilities where the end user can look at the financials around these transactions to make sure that they are selecting the right site that meets the goals of the business, but financially puts the organization in financial terms that are going to achieve the objectives of the organization. Especially in light of the new FASB changes coming down, making these real estate decisions based on FASB conditions on capitalization is very important to our customers we serve. Once I have a real estate commitment, I'll log out here of TRIRIGA and go into a lease administration's role where we drive lease efficiencies in the business. This particular user's portal is laid out with relevant information around their contracts. On the left-hand side, we have an active reminders section that's going to report critical information to this user and deliver it not only in the portal but out through email, making sure that you are alerted on critical events that you have in your organization. This is going to empower you with a decision support capability to be notified at the right time of what type of decisions you need to be making. As we log into some of the leases here, let's take a look at one of the leases. TRIRIGA provides a very elegant way to access all your data. No matter how many leases you have, the searching capabilities in TRIRIGA allow you to quickly identify and get down to that individual contract that you want to review. In our system here, I looked at all the leases that are in the Dallas market. With a simple hand, I can open up the lease record right here from the portal. Now, all of our records are organized with a series of tabs across the top, and we have all the relevant information about the lease, making sure that the relevant critical negotiated terms of your lease are being managed, from the critical dates to the financing on this particular lease. All of the TRIRIGA records are internationalized and localized to the local market. So whether you're an international customer managing in the local region or a multinational customer that's managing leases globally, TRIRIGA has the ability to manage them in the local currency and unit of measure and roll things up as a centralized real estate repository. We have the ability to track your critical clauses to make sure that your rights as a tenant are preserved and maintained, and also you understanding what rights your landlord has in your lease negotiations. We're going to manage the critical options that you have in the system through the Options tab and making sure that your rights as a landlord are being managed. In this case, I have 3 renewal options, and I want to make sure that I have proper notification on those landlord notice dates so that I don't miss out on an opportunity to extend my terms. TRIRIGA has the ability to manage all your financials on the lease and your lease accounting processes. So in this particular view, the user's seeing what their payment schedules are for all the financial terms on the lease. In this case, we see rent and operating expenses and tenant allowance. We're going to do your straight line reporting from a lease accounting perspective. I can very quickly go over to a couple areas of the tab. The first tab I'll show you here is the Summary tab, where TRIRIGA will organize all the data and report to you how you're doing within your real estate portfolio. I can see what my current spend is, my cost per area, my area per person, what my vacancy rate is currently in this portfolio. And from a metric perspective, these all roll up to Ernest or the executive's view, so we have a top-level view of around the world of what our real estate spend is, but the ability to go down to the individual obligations that you have to be able to do decision support of the individual commitments that you've made with the landlords. We're always going to keep track of your financial and your critical terms in the lease to make sure that you minimize the spend and make sure that you preserve your rights as a tenant in managing that lease commitment through its life. So in summary here, TRIRIGA provides an automated solution in real estate to make sure that we drive efficiencies in your decision support and selecting sites. You've seen in this presentation the ability to manage your critical data around those leases to make sure that financially you are under the laws of the contract, that you're managing those to fiscal due diligence and being proactive in the spend. So I hope you enjoyed this segment on TRIRIGA Real Estate and empowering your real estate functions. I want to thank everyone for their time.